Hi guys, we are live from the Brojo, and we're doing another Robro review. Yay! Today we're talking about Stephen King's It. So one thing I was really sad about, they didn't have like a Monty Python style like It's. That'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty funny. It's.
Okay.
So I'm Kien.
I'm Max.
I'm Lindsey.
Hey. And Jason's sitting in the background, just chilling. Hi, Jason.
Hi.
Hey. So
He talked.
Yeah, he did. It was pretty dope. I was pretty excited. Lindsey's back for another Stephen King adaptation, so it's gonna be interesting.
That's what I do apparently.
Sorry, this one's not as bad as the last one.
Yeah,
We'll get you on other ones.
I'll swear less for this one.
Oh, right. You go right ahead. That's the thing that I realized. Once you get monetized, we're not going to be parental guidance. It's going to go down the fucking drain. So I'm like, well, it happens. So the plot synopsis I'm going to get to is: after recent cases of disappearing local kids in the town of Derry, Maine, it follows a group of kids dubbed the Losers Club in the summer of 1989 and their discovery and scary encounters of a shape-shifting demonic entity known to return every 27 years and preys on your own personal fears. Now, after we got that plot synopsis, what did you guys think of the movie?
I thought it was good. I wasn't disappointed by it by any means. There were some things that I felt kind of were lacking, though. I mean, the book is huge, so obviously they're going to be missing a lot.
The audiobook is 15 hours, so that means
the audiobook is 47 hours.
Yeah,
never mind, just kidding.
I have the
just
unabridged,
kidding.
and it's like 47 hours.
47 hours.
I've been 15 hours in because I got to part 1.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I really rather enjoyed this. This is not content that I'm quite as passionate about as I was about Dark Tower. So, there's
You don't have Pennywise tattooed on you anyway?
No, not yet.
We'll get there. Gosh.
I'm thinking chess piece.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh, great.
Yeah. No.
The sewer drain with the clown?
I have this funny little habit. I very often retitle films to give them more accurate titles. In my head, immediately, this one is Kids versus Scary Clown, subtitle Friendship is Magic.
Right. Before we go actually into the review, I'm not going to lie. Fuck the guy who decided to dress up as a clown and have red balloons.
Wandering around.
Okay, what Kien is talking about here, for the listeners that aren't aware, our movie theater is in a mall. And outside the mall, as we all approached on opening night of It, there was a seemingly very nice fellow dressed in a scary clown costume.
Right. He waved. That's all he did. Because I told Max, that motherfucker gets close. I don't even care. He's probably a 16-year-old kid. I'm gonna go to jail for punching a child.
Oh well, and apparently I was talking to one of the girls at work who works at the mall, and I do not work at the mall. I used to, but she works where I work and at the mall. And apparently the scary clown left after somebody threatened to shoot him.
Oh.
So, that's not cool.
Oh, yo, that's fucked
up. Iowa!
Yo, that's fucked up too, but
there's a point of not liking the clown and if he runs at you throwing a punch, but just walking up to a dude and threatening to shoot him, that's a little too far.
Especially a dude that's just standing there with some balloons, waving at people, not being at all threatening.
Right.
He's not getting in people's bubble.
Right, and exactly, that's where I stand. I was like, that motherfucker's in my bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
He was nice, and he was
he was cool.
For a creepy clown,
a creepy clown dude outside of the opening night of a scary clown movie,
Comparatively,
Jason and I have been to horror conventions. We've probably encountered less pleasant creepy clowns.
Oh yeah, no, I had a creepy clown experience at a comic book convention this year. Actually, he would not leave me alone, and he had and it was a fake knife, but still, it was get the fuck out of my face.
From 10 feet away, the knife looked decently real enough that it was.
And he kept waving it around and doing the it's just
cool.
Yeah, and actually, the more I think about it, the majority of creepy clowns that we have encountered have been, really pretty nice.
Right.
So, it's usually drunk guys in a scream mask that are sort of bullshit or something.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
And I get you. I feel you. But back into this, I felt when I watched this movie, it felt very Spielbergy to me. Mm-hmm. It felt like someone I was talking to who was also at the movie that I worked with. He's like, it felt too much like Stand By Me, and I'm like, I got hints of that, but I also got like hints of like the Goonies for some weird reason.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's this trend right now, which I don't know how far back we want to go. Maybe like Super 8 is one of the ones that really started it, the recent one.
Right.
And a little bit like Insidious, It Follows, definitely. These movies that are throwing a little bit of a
nostalgic twist.
Yeah, a nostalgic twist, a vintage vibe.
Right.
Like, and granted, so this is set in the 80s.
Yeah.
But it and something I actually appreciated were the amount of practical effects.
Right, and I gotta give it that.
Practical effects were awesome.
Yeah.
And they definitely pumped up that 80s vibe a little bit, but overall, I think it was the 80s vibe thing, like not just as this set in the 80s, but it kind of almost looks and feels like a movie that might have been filmed in the 80s. I think it was used to good effect in this.
I had a really bad inaccuracy though for that. Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
I saw that.
That was the big inaccuracy that I had.
Yeah.
Because it's 88.
Yes.
Because it's supposed to be 27 years later, so they were gonna do like 2015.
Yeah.
If like the sequel happened, which is happening, which is awesome.
Yes.
But like I saw Nightmare on Elm Street 5, I'm like, yeah, I don't think that came out in 88. I feel like now you're just kind of like just pulling like, hey guys, it's definitely 80s.
When did it come out, though? Did you look it up? I didn't.
I'm 89.
Somebody.
Yeah,
Google.
it was like a year. It was like 89.
The movie I thought it said 89.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like when we saw the
Batman was correct.
Okay, so
Yeah, Batman came out 88, right? Yeah.
89.
89?
For sure.
Was it 89? Maybe it was 89. That was
How
the thing.
old were you in 89?
I was not born yet.
Okay, there we go.
It was okay. No, I was wrong. It was 89.
Alright,
It was
yeah,
89.
okay, so it was right.
89. Okay. So I'm sorry, that wasn't an inaccuracy. I wasn't born there.
There you
born
go.
yet. My bad,
wow,
guys.
those
Sorry,
movies are
internet.
that old.
Yeah.
I've watched through all of them, and I don't feel like they're that old of movies.
I like, and the thing I
They
like.
just have good staying power.
Yeah. It does, they
After
do.
the
Well,
first
5 doesn't
movie,
have good
maybe
staying
not.
power. Batman has good staying power. But from what I saw and what I like the times change actually. Like people,
Yeah.
some people were very nervous about the
choice.
Yeah, and it for what it was like. The 80s wasn't as racist, so for real,
no, absolutely.
they for me that was the thing. Like it was my thing is like, how are they going to bring Mike in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did give him kind of a story where it still made him feel like an outsider, even to the Losers Club. So like they
homeschooled.
Yeah, they played it out like in the book. It was mostly because he was
black.
The straight black kid.
He was black.
He was the
I mean,
token black kid.
he was the token black kid. And this
Right.
felt more natural.
Mm-hmm.
And like I really, for this movie, I think really captured the book. Like I captured the book a lot more than a lot of Stephen King adaptations.
Yes,
Yeah.
it definitely did. And it did it in 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was
That's-
impressed by that.
Yeah,
And it
that's
didn't
what
feel
was
like
really impressive
2 hours and 15 minutes
No,
to me.
Yeah.
it went. The pace was incredible.
Right.
It went so fast, but you didn't feel like
You didn't feel rushed watching
Right.
the movie.
You didn't feel rushed, but you also didn't feel like, oh, I wish I knew more about this character. This is a totally
Right.
flat character. We get such a good idea of who each of these kids are
Right.
from all of their introductions.
Right.
And in the book, it's chapters of learning about these kids'
Oh my
lives.
god, yeah.
There's
It's
so
like an
much
hour and a half if
exposition
you listen to
for
the audiobook.
each dang kid.
It's terrible.
And this, I mean, granted, like, these kids are, they're each a stereotype. They're each a caricature of that kid that you went to school with. But, we get such a good idea of that right away. And it's so well paced. The only thing that I was a little disappointed in on that subject was that Ben is now the new kid.
Yeah.
That was used to great effect with the new kids on the block joke. But
I like that.
But in the book, Ben is just the fat kid that nobody notices. And
Yeah.
having been the fat kid that nobody noticed, like, I was kind of sad that, oh, now Ben's the new kid, and he's also kind of one of the least interesting characters in this movie, and he's always been one of my favorites.
Right.
And
I really like Ben.
Where I can make that counterpoint is I just don't think they wanted to just make him the fat kid. Like, I feel like that would have been like, you know what I'm like, and I'm not saying it like that.
No, I totally get that, but like I said, having been the fat kid that nobody notices,
right.
It's way more powerful to me.
Right.
His discovery of having friends.
Right.
Like, holy shit, I have friends for the first time. You know, I've been going to school with these kids for my entire life, and suddenly they see me as a valuable human being. That's a way bigger, cooler discovery for me than the new kid suddenly making friends at the end of the school year.
Yeah.
That's,
and maybe it's just because I had that moment in 6th grade where, like, suddenly I had friends. Like, so, you know, that was a little disappointing to me. Because to me, that's more layered than, oh, new kid.
Yeah, no, and
new kid who happens to be fat. Woo.
I totally understand. Yeah. Speaking of that scene, like, I gotta give props to the bully, Nicholas Hamilton, who plays Henry Bowers. Mm-hmm. Jesus fucking Christ. That kid is like, he's like the combination of, like, to me, it was like Joffrey mixed with, like, you know, fucking, God, that kid was just, was fucking, like, besides Pennywise being terrifying, that kid was just, before Pennywise got to him, was fucking terrifying to begin with.
Right.
Yeah. And he interestingly, Jason pointed this out, he looks a lot like the same character in the miniseries.
Right.
The television miniseries. He's one of the ones that looks
very similar.
Yeah. Pretty similar, yeah.
And
which was kind of cool.
Right, and see, like, I like Max, there was some things Max had a problem with that character.
Well, I think one of my biggest problems was the bully group never being pulled in for killing the gay kid.
Yeah.
And, I mean, and that's where I was saying, like, it's a big book with a lot of parts that get cut out.
Yeah.
That was something that I felt reinforced the whole bully group as being a truly terrifying force in the town.
Yeah.
And
how terrible they really are.
And they kind of cut that out.
Yeah, and that, too, you know, also really highlights the kind of place that the town is.
Yeah.
That Derry is, because in ways, it's kind of like Spencer or Sioux Falls, you know? It's this shiny, happy town that has a really
fucked up
yucky,
shit.
dark side.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way worse than Spencer. I don't want people to think, Spencer's awful, because I hear a lot of that shit too, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's not
so
bad.
Norman Rockwell.
Right.
This is so Norman Rockwell. We have some assholes every place.
You've got some Breaking Bads going on here.
Sure. Yeah, we have some people that don't like them queers or them brown people.
Yeah,
from the Northwest Iowa.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, that was one of those things that really colors the town.
It really does.
You know.
And I get you guys on all those points. I really like the book, and I like the way it was portrayed. Obviously, I do have some gripes. Like, I don't know, I think one of the gripes that I had is just that, like, some of the kids felt like they were put on the wayside more than
little, yeah.
Like, whereas I think it would have played better if you found out Ricky's fear was clowns in the first place.
Yeah.
Because that makes total fucking sense.
Yeah,
Richie's,
it makes a lot more sense.
It would make total sense. Like,
Richie doesn't like clowns.
Not make him eccentric, but anything like that. And that kid's from Stranger Things. That's Finn Wolfhard, and he was, I think,
what an excellent name.
Yeah, he was my favorite. He was my favorite character, just because I don't know. There's something about, like, I like it. Like, he knew how to cut the mood when it got, for me, when it felt too tense. He knew how to just, like, you know, like, there's that awkward kid who, like, has to make the joke because he's like, dude, this is getting super weird. All right, dicks.
Yeah.
And I feel Kien meshes with that kid a lot because I see a lot of Kien in that.
Absolutely.
If there's the awkward silence or the really bad joke or some just weirdo shit going on, Kien's the guy who's going to break the silence or say another dumb joke.
Yeah, definitely. I really loved that kid. Bill Skarsgård is an amazing Pennywise.
I was gonna get to him.
Yeah.
He's fucking terrifying.
He is terrifying.
Right? Like, because he can go from, like, his beat change is just fucking insane. Because
it was awesome to watch, too.
And one of the things that I was reading last night, because I see a movie and then I'm like, I want to know all of the trivia. So
let me read the reviews.
Yeah. Well, I like just the weird facts about movies. So apparently, coming down to who was cast before him? The kid from
Chronicles of Narnia in Detroit, Will Pettiford.
Yes.
Go on.
No, I think he would have been great, but at the same time, I think there's just something about Bill Skarsgård. Maybe it's that he's Swedish. I don't know. But apparently, after that kid left, and then Bill Skarsgård came in, they were also looking at Hugo Weaving.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who would have been absolutely terrifying. But the reason they didn't go with Weaving was that he could do the creepy, he could do the scary.
Yeah.
But he couldn't do that playful, childlike thing.
Yeah,
right, and I think that's what you
luring to
needed
the
a
kids.
younger actor this time.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes so much sense, and Bill Skarsgård plays that incredibly well. Also, that thing that he does with his eyes, not CGI, he's doing that.
Really his...
the lazy eye drift.
Ooh, fuck that.
Really?
The director came to him and was like, okay, we're gonna do this, so we'll be doing some shots of you just staring. And he was like,
"Oh, I got this."
But yeah, I got this. I can totally do that." And
I can
he
do
did the
some
eyes
creepy
thing.
shit.
Yeah, I can do
that
some
makes
creepy
it,
shit.
dude. That for real. That to me, that makes it
awesome.
even more fucked up and scary.
Right?
I can't wrap my mind around that shit. Now I'm just fucking nah, dude.
Right. That's fucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for me, I knew, and that's the thing, because, I took film classes in college, and I'm I was I know when these beats are going to happen, I know when the scare's going to happen, but it still made me fucking jump. I'm God damn it,
Right?
I knew that was going to happen.
They did a really good job on them.
And I'm
I like it. Jump scares normally don't get me.
There was a few.
I jumped twice in that movie. One of them wasn't even a jump scare, but it made me jump nonetheless.
There was a few where I was just and the one that really got me, I feel like people heard me, I was oh shit!
Yeah.
It was the fucking the picture, the slideshow scene. And I'm I know something's gonna happen. And I was I know something's gonna happen, and I know I shouldn't jump, but I'm oh my god!
Yeah.
Because I think it's the way it flashed and panned in, where it was a strobe light, where he's far, he's close, he's far, he's close. I'm God, fuck this.
And all of a sudden he's fucking huge, and he's right here.
Yeah, and I'm fuck this, fuck this movie, and I've got to give it to man, it's just aesthetically beautiful to me.
Yeah,
it's
really,
so beautiful,
really good.
The monsters are fucked up looking, but they're not pretty, but they're
They
just
look aesthetically
genuine.
pleasing for the monster they are.
Exactly, and I'm a drop this name right here. The practical effects were done by Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are very well known. We had the pleasure of meeting Alec Gillis at Crypticon in Minneapolis a couple years ago, and he is such a cool dude. And they have been doing this for, longer than pretty much any of us have been alive.
Right.
Alec Gillis did Aliens, and
I was gonna ask,
and Pumpkinhead, and just a ridiculous amount of amazing movies and special effects. So yeah, that amount of experience really speaks to the quality.
It looked great.
Even
their CGI stuff looked good. My favorite CGI scene was when they walk into the sewer and you see Pennywise's lair, and it pans up and you just see it be really huge and all the kids floating.
Yeah, it
looked awesome.
It's a fucked up inverted version of Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Her thing
look at
with
this stuff.
all of her stuff and
it's
things.
hoarder. It's a hoarder's
exactly.
dream. It's a hoarder's dream.
Yeah, with a pinch of the junk lady from the Labyrinth that has all of her shit on her.
Right. And well, speaking of that lair scene, when you see him first just dancing in there, it's very malevolent, but you just can't take your eyes off it because I think it's the hues that are with it, and it's just really mesmerizing, and you're just you're there. And the one thing I really like is how you can tell, like, when Pennywise is about to fucking murder someone, his color of eyes change. And, like, that was the one thing I was going to bring up, is the beginning of the movie. They don't pull any punches. They fucking murder children. Like, not even like, we're just going to pan away from it. No. Fucking just
right down
his arms off.
Yeah.
And his arms off.
And my thing about this is, this town, like, after, like, the beginning, I'm like, the fuck, lady? Why did you do... And then fucking Henry, right? The fat kid? Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
Ben goes...
Henry's...
sorry.
Ben
Ben goes, and he's like... Yeah, like, you know, no one really, like, noticed, like, this has happened. I'm like, okay, so I totally understand. If, like, shit like this is happening all the time, everyone's gonna be like, fuck, dude, I didn't see shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's a real head-turny kind of place.
Right, like, well, that's the thing. That's another thing. Like, yes, the monsters are really creepy, but the fucking people in the town are creepier. Like that, like,
right? Yeah.
Like, not even just fucking, her dad, not even
the dad.
Oh,
that dad was creepy as fuck.
Yeah, that was
terrifying. Bev's dad.
Bev's dad, creepy as shit.
He's really scary. And that was another choice that I've been thinking quite a lot about, because I was fairly certain I've watched the 1990 miniseries a lot more than I've read the book, which is terrible to admit, but it's true. And I didn't recall Bev's dad being molestery rapey.
No, and I don't think so either.
He was just beady in all of the other things.
And he was just beating her, I think,
messed
too.
Up too.
Right.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time today thinking about, you know, what's with that choice, and it's actually, I think it's a more powerful choice when she overcomes her abuser.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
Because I mean that's such a deep violation.
Right.
You know?
That was a big fuck you. Like, I was like, really, like, that scene where he's like pinning her down. I'm like, dude, if this fucking happens, I'm just like, I was like, if it went through, I would have fucking walked out. I would have been done. Like the movie was good, but that would have been like, oh man,
that would have been oh hell no scene.
That would have been like a fuck this movie. Like,
that was another one of those trivia bits that I read last night. Apparently, the previous director, whose name I don't recall or what else he's done, but he had some really screwed up ideas about what this movie should be. So before the current director got his hands on it, we would have had Bev getting raped by her father, and we would have had the child orgy in the sewers, and we would have had Henry fucking a sheep, which. What the fuck?
Right.
Why is that necessary? Henry's already enough of a bastard.
Right.
Right. See, and that was the one thing I was going to bring up. I feel very comfortable not having that scene of the child or like, for me, I felt like it's not like it doesn't like it.
In Stephen King's writings, that's probably one of his more questionable choices.
Right. The whole like I might get AIDS from holding your hand and we're gonna stick together that way seems a lot more reasonable than my dick's out. Let's do this.
Right.
Yeah. Well, like everybody's really nervous. Let's calm down by screwing.
Right.
Wait, what? And what's even more fucked up is that in the book they're all like 10 and 11 years old.
Yeah, they're like 14, 15, which makes it a little bit better.
Which, you know, I understand why they always age up in the movies.
Right. And it makes so much
really
sense.
hard to have a bunch of 12-year-olds in this.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been really, really weird.
Yeah. Well, and I think because, I mean, I was a fucked up 12-year-old. I talked like that when I was 12, so that's not a stretch for me. But I think audiences in general, you know, we can do our willing suspension of disbelief to believe that there might be a crazy ass clown, but you know, 12-year-olds smoking and swearing is a little outside the realm a lot of times.
Right.
So,
well, in the 50s, it wouldn't.
Like
that's the thing. The 50s, it wouldn't been as weird seeing like them smoking and shit like that because they do like.
Yeah.
Because like. They used cigarettes to calm kids down back in the olden days. Like, for real!
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But well, and, you know, then there's the whole how many parents want their kids involved in that kind of project.
Right.
You know?
You don't see that. Yeah, no. And so, like, I really want to get talking to the actors, because that's what sold the movie for me. The kid who played Bill, Jaden Lieberner, like, he probably doesn't have a stutter, but god damn it. I had a kid who had a stutter in high school. sounds just like him.
Yeah, he
It's
did a really good
fucking
job.
insane.
Yeah, he did that stutter really well. And that, again, going back to my familiarity with the miniseries, that was a character that I was like, this kid better fucking nail this, because Jonathan Brandis from Sequest was the tits as Bill.
And he did.
Oh, yeah.
He did, and I was awesome.
And he nailed the shit out of it.
And Jeremy Ray Tyler, who played Ben Hanscom, I know you had a little bit of problem, but I think he played it off well.
Oh no,
he played his part really well.
He played his part exceptionally well. I just think he got hosed.
Yeah,
And
there could have been more to his character,
Yeah.
a different base to his character.
The person that I think is breakout for me is Beverly Marsh, Sophie Lillis.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. Her age, she looks like a young fucking. If Molly Ringwald and Rachel McAdams did fuse together, that's
Yeah,
what she kind of looks like to me. It's just insane. It's
pretty accurate.
she's such a
which is why Richie's Molly Ringwald joke was
really hit
fucking
me.
hilarious.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the thing. I think all these kids were awesome.
They were.
Right?
And the Eddie character, I mean, I think he's one that as my kid.
Jack Dylan
yeah.
Grazer.
Yes,
He
yeah.
was my favorite.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Jason Speaks. he was exceptional.
He plays a good hypochondriac.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It
He
was
did
awesome.
that to great effect, and just the they very easily could have taken that character and the Jew kid.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he
they could have
played
taken them and put them together. They
He
could have made them
he
one character.
not to be
But
racist,
these
he
two
sounded very
characters-
hypochondriac Woody Allen Jew. Like not racist.
He did. They could have so easily,
Yeah.
for convenience, put those two together, but
Because it would
they
be a
didn't.
terrible trope.
And yeah, it would have been a terrible trope.
Been a
Oh, right.
racist trope.
And he was just so excellent. I like this Eddie better than I like Eddie in the book.
He looks like a young
Honestly,
Fred Savage,
I do.
actually, to me.
A little bit,
He looks
like Fred Savage,
he
like,
definitely
really
does.
looks like
He
Fred
definitely
Savage.
does. And honestly, even the Jew kid who's
Stanley.
Stanley. Thank you. Why can I not hold on to his name? Stanley.
Because he wasn't he was the one who was he was, to me, he was the least fleshed out.
I thought he was the least memorable character too.
Right,
Like,
and I think all he had was his fear of the Mona Lisa painting and that he's not Jewish enough for his dad.
Oh, that painting was.
It was
excellent.
creepy. It was creepy.
That painting was scary as shit, and I loved it biting his face.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That was really awesome. Spoiler for the next movie, though. I spent this whole movie watching it and thinking, God, I'm not going to be sad when you kill yourself in the next one.
Nah.
Like
He had the most fun. To be fair, comparatively, yes, Bev got kidnapped.
Mhm.
But he had he was
Yeah.
his face.
Yeah.
Like,
It
face
tried to
hugger
keep his
aliens,
face.
yeah.
Pennywise was actually eating him. Out of the Losers Club, he was the one actually dying.
He does have the most reason to kill himself in the next
Right.
movie.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of looking forward to what he does because he was just kind of a dick.
Right.
So
He was kind of a meh asshole character.
Yeah.
Right,
he
and,
was.
and
I mean, he is in the book too. He's always the one that's like, nope, don't want to do this, don't want to do this, don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Because he's Jewish. Have you not seen any Woody Allen film?
You are such a racist, Kien.
I keep saying this, but nobody believes me.
I'm brown. I got that card going for them. I was right.
Yeah,
Diversity.
Kien can't be racist because he's black.
Yeah.
Enough anti-Semitism in this review. Moving on. The actor was great. He played him very well.
Yeah.
Had the most screwed up thing happen to him. That was excellent. She was so creepy. I also love after that when she's retreating and she goes around the corner and her hand is still there and it's still there and that it's Pennywise. That was an excellent visual.
I loved that. As I was watching it, right after I watched it, I almost wished, as she was retreating, it morphed into Pennywise.
Mhm.
But I think I liked that more the longer I waited on
better.
it.
Yeah.
The longer I waited on it, I was like, I like that more than if Pennywise, became Pennywise as he was, retreating.
Yeah.
The effects were just pleasing to me, the
Oh, yeah.
transformations and the best aesthetic thing that creeped me out, but it's the same time I was could not stop watching. Is the fucking fridge scene after Eddie breaks his arm. Pennywise starts clicking. He clicks on the fridge first, and then comes out and starts in court.
And apparently Bill Skarsgård worked with a contortionist to do a lot of that himself.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I was going to ask, how much of that was real? Because,
Yeah.
that looked fucked.
A lot of it, apparently.
All right.
This kid, God, he...
Yeah, and his brother is Tarzan.
Yeah.
I mean, my God. What the shit?
Someone
It's
pointed out to
mind-blowing.
me that, like, Bill Skarsgård looks like a pretty fish.
He does look like a
He
pretty
looks like a
fish.
pretty fish.
He does.
He's like,
Yeah.
if you don't look at the eyes and you just look down, he's like, oh, that guy's handsome. And you're like, oh, flounder.
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he looks like a pretty
It's like
fish.
Maggie Gyllenhaal looks like a sad turtle.
Shit, I didn't think that. No, look at that. Damn. But, like,
You'll never get that out of your
no. And, like, I know he didn't really have much, but, Chosen Jake, I just like that kid's name. Chosen Jacobs.
Chosen, and it's not even spelled weird.
Right, it's
No, it's
chosen.
chosen.
It's not
It's
chosen,
wonderful.
it's chosen.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he was fantastic.
he was,
yeah.
but like I he was one of the other ones that like I feel like he did like there was certain parts that I think that they could have fleshed it out.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't
he
get
was a
as
little
much
lacking.
of that character as we could have.
And-
the choices they made with that character, though, because there is so much depth to that character that they had to layer in. The choices that they made that we got were really good.
Yeah.
I thought with having his parents die in the fire, because in the book his parents survive the fire. It's a totally different kind of fire, but it's still racially motivated and it's still fucked up.
Yeah.
So, I think having his parents having died and he's being raised by his grandpa, and he's a farmer in the book too, but this is a different kind of farming, and
He's killing shit.
yeah, he's killing shit. The use of the bolt gun
Yeah.
was also just brilliant.
My
That
son,
was-
the inner fucking physics nerd in me was like, it's air powered.
Yeah, when they first introduced it, it's attached to an air hose, and then later it's just like a pullback bolt gun. And I was
Well,
kind
I
of
mean,
like,
they're using air cartridges.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
is-
using a propellant cartridge.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So
wanted.
that's why after spoilers, after Bill shoots the Pennywise Georgie with the bolt gun, that's why he's back there going, it's not loaded, because
Well, yeah.
he dropped the cartridges. So that's what was.
All right,
the bolt's always there.
All right,
Yeah.
I just see, and I wanted to make sure on that because I was getting a little pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I knew they were reloading air cartridges,
Yeah.
but when they first introduced it, it's still attached to an air hose.
Sure.
like,
And that was kind of the problem I had.
yeah,
with it.
and like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a minuscule thing. Like, I'm not gonna be like, how dare you?
Right.
But my favorite thing is you get the hint that the final form of Pennywise, while they're in that final D&D, which is a D&D fight, by the way, you have all the D&D characters. Eddie is the cleric,
Yeah,
Will
they're
is the
all there.
fighter, Bev is the rogue. It is a D&D
I mean, they
fight.
even
Mi-
fought a mini boss
Yeah.
before they get to the
Mike is a ranger, and like they are D&D characters,
Yeah.
and like not just because he's Jewish, but Stan was the paladin.
God, now I'm sorting them into vampire clans. Thanks!
And it was, and I pointed that out. I'm like, this is a mini, like, and it's like just like how Stranger Things works, and like that's where, and I got a lot of a Stranger Things vibe.
A little
too.
bit, yeah. And
But-
I feel like some of that came just because the Stranger Things kid was
Was
there.
in it, yeah.
Yeah, well, and the previous director, too, is attached to Stranger Things.
Man,
Yeah, which, like, blows my mind. I haven't seen Stranger Things, but I hear such excellent things about it.
Don't get too hyped. It's good, but it's not that good.
Okay, that's a review for another day. I'll keep that
Yeah.
in mind. So the previous director, who was very involved in the script, this script is not hugely changed from that director's script. The biggest changes are things to bring it back to being more accurate and making more sense and not being rated NC-17.
All right.
And the Stranger Things kid is the one kid that was cast with that director that carried over
Oh, really?
to actually be in the movie.
I'm
So-
glad he was in this.
So
He's a
glad he was
good
in this.
actor.
Yeah, and he's hilarious. He's
Oh,
such
yeah.
a good Richie.
I like him. He
But-
plays the roles I've seen him in very well.
And also, getting back to the thing. He had a lot to live up to with Seth Green being the previous Reggie.
Right.
Oh, shit, that's right. God
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, and isn't it hilarious that in that one, Seth Green was the tallest of the kids, and he stayed that height, and everybody else grew up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. See,
Anyway.
I'm gonna be hated by this. I didn't like the miniseries as much as like a lot of people did. I thought it was like, you know, like it was spoopy.
It's spoopy.
It's
yes.
spoopy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I watched it like, I don't know, a year ago recently, like, you know, and I just like, for some reason I'm like, man, I like Tim Curry, like, but like the second part just got dumb, and that's
true.
Even
the
in the
first part of the miniseries is the good part.
Yeah, even in the books, though, to me, I think I don't like the second part as much as I like the first part because there's no more child innocence. They're all just kind of dicks.
Yeah,
they're all grown up kind of assholes.
They're all just
really
they're all just like, they're not shitty people, but they're just like, you know, I don't want to hang out with you. Like these kids are like, dude, it'd be cool to just chillax if we were like 12, like in our underwear, skinny dipping in a quarry.
But like they portrayed that child innocence mixed with like just barely hitting puberty very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was done very well in this movie.
Absolutely.
One of the key moments in that movie is I'm sitting next to my friend Ayla, and fucking Ben is writing the fucking poem, and I'm like laughing, and she's like, she hits me, she's like, you better take fucking notes. I was like, God damn!
Haiku, motherfucker!
Fuck! And she was like, you should be taking fucking notes. I'm like, fuck you!
You're Asian, whip out those haikus.
Nah,
Come on, get on it.
Because we just got talking about like, I'm not a romantic person, I'm making fun of this, and she's like, you better take fucking, like, she's calling me out now. I'm like, fuck you. And like, I gauged the enjoyment of the movie, and this will sound super shitty again with my friend Ayla who went with us. She was fucking terrified throughout the movie, and I'm gauging my enjoyment of that movie is that like, she's a person who doesn't like horror movies. She's you know, she jumps at shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's very common for her to do shit like that. And so I think, and I don't think she would give it a high rating because she was terrified as shit. But to me, it did its job.
Yeah.
For like, because I'm not an easy like. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm easily jumping at video games because, like...
Yeah, when you're playing a video game, you get immersed.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
the
true.
reason that Kien jumps as much as he does in video
And
games.
I scream like a little girl because I'm like, ah!
And frankly, that's why I usually jump in a movie. The jump scares didn't do so much for me in this one, honestly.
They weren't all that, honestly.
Yeah.
They were very easily predicted. Like, they were pretty obvious.
Yeah. And, you know, sometimes even though I know this is going to happen, it's still, like, when it did happen, I was like, gah! But I wasn't peeing myself.
Right.
You know?
Oh, no.
But I also have a really high tolerance for this sort of thing.
Right.
So, you know, but it was so tense. There was just that really good tension of, you know, oh my God, who's going to get eaten?
Yeah.
You know, even if you know that nobody's going to get eaten,
right.
maybe they're going to pull a Walking Dead and kill off a character that you wouldn't expect. You
right.
know, like Stan.
I wouldn't have been surprised if one of the kids died in this, and like if Stan died and they just didn't do the suicide scene in the next movie, that would not have surprised me at all.
Right. Yeah.
I would have been a what the fuck moment in the movie, but I still would have been like, all right,
okay.
So we're gonna wrap it up and we're gonna give our ratings, and we've got new ratings. So just to let you know, Fuck Yeah is like a super amazing movie. Oh Lord is like a great movie. Dope is like it's a good okay movie. Man is like I maybe could see it. Nope is like a really bad movie, and Goddamn Dumpster Fire is a Lindsey's Dark Tower and my Death Note. So what you guys give this?
I'm gonna give it a dope. Like, I hate saying that word. 'Cause I'm not one of those people. I'm sorry.
It's awesome to watch you say it.
Yeah.
That's the last time I'm saying it. I'm finding a new rating for that.
You sound like Eddie and Stanley right now. A really like depressed Jew when you say dope.
Yeah, fuck off. I'm not that much Jewish. But like, that's the rating I give it. Like, it wasn't a great, fantastic movie, but I wasn't disappointed in it at all. I got what I wanted from it. I liked it. I might end up watching again. I'm sure as hell not watching again in theaters. Right through the wall. But, like, I liked it. From having read the book years ago and am slowly going through this fucking 50-hour audiobook.
Can we just say about the audiobook real quick?
Yeah.
That the narrator, the guy from Wings, is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love the narrator.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Yeah.
But, like, it hits just above a mid-ground. Like, it's not a meh movie, but it doesn't get much higher than that.
Does it get an O-loud?
I'm never, ever saying that.
O-loud?
Well, I will give it a solid oh lord.
O-loud?
Oh lord!
I'm gonna get sound bites now.
Nice. I will gladly come in and do
Can we
something.
Can we get a soundboard where like we push the button and then it says it?
Yeah.
Because
like,
then I'll give movies that rating.
Then I'm definitely gonna be like dope. Nah, so I'm also gonna give it an O-load because like it got me doing whatever I needed. It got me scared, got me fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was very, like I said, it was like very 80s, and the spoopy stuff wasn't like over the top spoopy, so definitely give it an O-load.
Yeah, I'm on board with the O-load for all the same reasons. The effects were gorgeous. Thank you, Alec Gillis. I love you forever. You're my adopted famous rich uncle.
Yeah!
Yeah, the effects were gorgeous. I gave a shit about all of the characters in various ways.
Right.
You know, it did a really good job of condensing this really
thick novel.
dense, heavy novel.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Stephen King.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. So
that's been our It Review. I'm Kien.
I'm Max.
I'm Lindsey. Jason's in the can.
Have a good day.